Hey Joe, it's Folks here. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that can be scary for a lot of beginners. This is something that scared me a lot as well when I started my first store. What we're talking about is what you should do as a print-on-demand store owner if your customer requests a refund on an item they bought from you. And in the video today, I will show you the exact return policy that I use on my own print-on-demand stores. If you want to see some of the other strategies that I recommend in terms of actually selling print-on-demand products, make sure to check out some of my other videos here on the channel. And if you want to go through some step-by-step training from me to actually build out your print-on-demand store, make sure to check out my course. There is a link down in the description. The best part is it is completely free. Inside, you'll get access to over 30 step-by-step videos showing you the process to actually build out your own print-on-demand store. So when it comes to returns on your store, there's really three things that you're going to want to think about. The first is protecting your profitability. The second is making sure that you can involve your print-on-demand supplier in some way. And third is trying to make sure that you have something in place to keep customers happy. And the return policy I talk about today will make sure that you cover all of those bases. And before we jump into it, let me know down in the comments below, have you had to ever refund someone on your print-on-demand store? And if so, how did it go? I can remember running my first print-on-demand store and getting my first email from a customer asking for a refund. It is definitely a scary thing, and a lot of people don't know how to respond or even what to do if someone does ask them to return an item they bought. Here's an example of something that a customer could say to you. They could say something like this: "Hey there, I ordered a poster from your store and I don't like how it looks in my room. I'd like to return it." Again, this is something a lot of beginners will read and not know what to do or even what to say back to the customer. Another example could be something like, "Hey there, I ordered these leggings from your shop and they're just a little bit too big. Can I exchange them for a different size?" And just like the first example, something like that could stump you if you're just getting into print on demand. Another example is something like, "Hey, I ordered this hoodie from you and I thought it was going to be much thicker. It's actually quite thin. Can I return it?" Just like our first two, reading that sort of an email might scare you if you're jumping into your first print on demand store. Another example that a customer could send you something about could be, "Hey, I ordered this hoodie. It was supposed to have a motorcycle on it and what I received actually has a panda bear." Basically a situation where the print-on-demand supplier sent the wrong item. Again, something that could be scary if you're jumping into print-on-demand. Our fifth and final example of what someone could say to you could be something like, "Hey, I ordered a hoodie from you. The print on it doesn't look good. It's all smudged and half of it seems like it didn't even get printed. I think it's not correct." This is a situation where the print-on-demand supplier actually has some sort of a quality defect with the printing and that item was accidentally sent out without receiving a proper quality check from the print-on-demand supplier. All five of those scenarios are potential things that could happen if you're running a print-on-demand store, and all five of them have the potential to stump you or give you anxiety or cause you stress or even cause you to not want to do print-on-demand at all. And that's why I'm making this video as a complete guide to returns. What I just did was give you these five examples. The first was an issue where the customer basically changed their mind. The second was a sizing issue. The third was an issue where the customer thought the product wasn't that nice, or at least not as nice as they thought it was going to be. And number four was something where the print-on-demand supplier sent the wrong item. And number five was a situation where there was actually a print defect. Now, most people who read any one of these situations would immediately want to think about how they can involve their print-on-demand supplier. And one thing to keep in mind with a print-on-demand store is that you are the business owner, meaning you set your own policies. You are the one that's communicating with the customer, and you are also the one who the customer would actually mail the products back to if they were going to return the item. The reason for the drama is most people think that their print-on-demand supplier is going to be involved in every type of situation, or that your customers are actually going to be mailing product back to the supplier that you're using if there is some sort of an issue. Your supplier is just your supplier. They're not really involved in your business that much. This isn't to say, though, that your print-on-demand supplier couldn't be involved at all. Again, I gave you five different scenarios. The first was where the customer changed their mind. The second was when the customer ordered the wrong size. The third was when the customer thought the product wasn't as nice as they thought it was going to be. The fourth was when the customer received the wrong item. And the fifth was when there was a print defect with the item. Your print-on-demand supplier will only get involved with 2 of those scenarios, number 4 and number 5, where the wrong item was sent or if there was some sort of a quality defect. If your customer simply just changes their mind, that has nothing to do with your print-on-demand supplier. Examples number 4 and 5 with the quality defect and the wrong item sent would result in you being offered a refund or a replacement item from your print-on-demand supplier. If your customer did email you with one of those issues, you would simply just report it to your print-on-demand supplier through their customer service link. And again, they would either offer you a replacement or a refund on the item. Both of those outcomes would protect your profitability because if they offered a replacement, your customer would simply receive a new item in the mail. And if the customer opted for a refund, the print-on-demand supplier would give you the money back and you would then refund your customer. But what about the other 3? Those are the ones that sometimes hang people up. If there is an issue with sizing or if the customer changes their mind or something like that, what do you do and how do you put a return policy in place that can protect your profitability in those situations? A lot of people think about this and ultimately they begin to get scared and they worry about a situation where they produce hundreds of different items for a whole bunch of sales and then they all of a sudden get an avalanche of customer service requests for refunds or exchanges or something like that. And what I hope to do with this example is help you to avoid potential situations where lots of returns end up happening and ultimately you can protect your profitability. Before we do that though, I simply just want to give you some of my experience. I have not, in the almost 7 years that I've been involved with print-on-demand stores, I have not viewed returns as a massive issue. In all honesty, it's not even really something that I could quantify and give you like a specific percentage of how many people actually ask for a refund. Obviously, depending on the product that's being sold, there could be a higher likelihood of a refund being requested or some sort of exchange being requested. Obviously, if you're selling like a print-on-demand dress, you could have more refunds than if you were selling a print-on-demand phone case or something like that. And that is why I said the return policy we are going to discuss is one that will protect your profitability in most cases. And again, this is where you as the business owner sort of need to set your own policy and enforce it. And here is an example of what you could write on your store. I've actually typed it out here so that way you can see. It says, "Hi there, we are a small business that utilizes a made-to-order business model. This means we don't hold any inventory and we actually work with production partners to produce our inventory as needed. So as our customers place orders with us, we place orders with our suppliers to produce the items for them. We do this to keep our costs low and quality high. With that said, we want to offer a quality guarantee for you. You can expect to receive the item you ordered from us quickly without any defects. If your item arrives damaged or with a print defect, we'll offer you a replacement or a refund and let you keep the item. Because we produce our items on demand with our production partners, we reserve the right to deny a refund or exchange for other reasons. Again, we are a small business and we really appreciate your business." Let me know in the comments what you think of that. But first, let's kind of break it down. I have basically done 5 different things with this policy. First, I have shared a little bit about our business model. I talked about how we are a made-to-order business, and I've done that so that way later when I tell them they cannot receive a refund if they basically change their mind on the purchase, that it will make a little bit more sense as to why. Secondly, I've made this a benefit for them. I told them that because of the way that we do our business, we're able to keep the cost low and the quality of our products high. Thirdly, I initiated a quality guarantee where I told them if there's any issues with the item that they will be taken care of. Fourthly, I've told them that refunds are only accepted in those situations. I talked about how we reserve the right here to deny a refund or exchange for any other reasons. And then fifth, I reminded them that we are a small business and I thanked them for their purchase. What we just went through is a return policy that protects your profitability and also makes the customer feel good because you're offering a quality guarantee on the item. Ultimately, the 3 different scenarios where a customer could potentially ask you for a refund would require you as the business owner to provide a little bit of customer service to them to help mitigate the situation. If someone does request a refund for one of the situations we talked about, you could reply with something like this. You could say, "Hey there, thanks so much for your business. Now, we utilize a made made-to-order business model, which means the item you received is one that was literally made for you. As soon as you ordered it, our production partner printed the item and shipped it to your door. For this reason, it cannot be returned. If you'd like to check out our store and perhaps order something else, we'd like to offer you a 50% off discount code that will work on any item we sell. Please let us know if you decide to choose something else. So again, this is a situation where someone asks for a refund because they may have decided they didn't like the item, and you are simply providing them some customer service, reminding them of your policy that you have in place, and also trying to make them feel better by offering some sort of a discount code on a future purchase. In this example, I gave 50% off. You can ultimately choose whatever you want. The point here is to give them a discount code to hopefully make them happy and not really worry about profits, because all you're trying to do is avoid a situation where you lose the profit from the sale that you made originally with them. Now, obviously, this is going to work in some cases. People are going to hear your reply and they're simply going to assume that that is the only option, and they will simply stop asking. And others could potentially get mad. They could send you other emails and begin demanding a refund on the item. And this is where you, as the business owner, need to basically decide what it is you are going to do. Are you going to reply and upload your policy again, or are you going to make an accommodation and offer them a refund for the item? In the first situation, if you reply and simply restate your policy, they might continue to argue with you. And in most cases, after telling them twice what your policy is, you could potentially just ignore them and see if they ever respond again. And if they do email again, you can ultimately, as the business owner, figure out what you want to do. In some cases, I have decided to accommodate a customer that will not stop asking for a refund on a product they ordered, in which case I give them two simple instructions. The first is to send the item back to me. You need to tell them that they will pay for the return shipping and that they will receive a refund when the item is received in good condition. Secondly, you need to tell them where to send it. In most cases, this is going to be your own address. I have told customers to send items to my home address. This is not something that I am super nervous about, because in most cases, they're just going to assume that is the business address. Of course, if you are nervous about that, you could get yourself a PO box or some sort of virtual address or something like that where people can actually ship items to. And honestly, sometimes people won't even send the item. After they get that message from you, they